All right, y'all. Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 7. And let's just say vacation is over and school is in session. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So we are on episode number 7. And honey, the vacation is over. The honeymoon is done. It's time to get the business. It's time to go to work. All right, so yes, the honeymoon is over and the couples all begin stepping into their apartments. So everybody pretty much likes their new digs. They all like the apartment. Everybody's filling their kitchens and their granite countertops. And Amelia and Bennett, of course, they're loving the spaciousness of it all. And, Bennett is not used to all of this luxuriousness because, honey, he stay in a tiny house, which is literally one room and it ain't even got a toilet in it. So he's like, oh wow, this is nice. I mean, he's like tripping over the fact that, it has 2 bathrooms. He's just really wild and impressed. But no, it is a very nice looking apartment in New Orleans, and they all stay in the same apartment complex, which I think is very interesting. All right, and so Bennett is really giddy because it's just so spacious. But he says that, the more that they get into this married life and, he's moving into this apartment and, he realizes that he has a wife, he starts using the words demented, which is funny. He says, this is radical. This is demented. And he said, this is surreal and strange. Well, Bennett, you better get into it because you was married and you was married for real. This is not a fake marriage. This is not a TV marriage. You were in holy matrimony. Okay? So it goes to Karen and Miles, and they walk in and they're looking at the apartment, and then Miles looks over at the TV and he was like, oh, Xbox going right here. Karen's looking at him like, oh, you got an Xbox? Like, oh, he's such a child. You could just hear her thinking it. She's thinking, oh, he's such a child. And he's like, yeah. And she was like, do you play that a lot? And you could just see her freaking out over the fact that this man got an Xbox. I know to each his own. Some women don't like the fact that men play games. Some women could care less as long as they take care of their business and handle their responsibilities. But Karen seemed slightly annoyed, as usual. Karen is looking for any excuse. She is looking for any reason not to make this relationship work. Honey, you should have been dating instead of marrying, because now you're obligated to make this work. And Miles, when she was like, you play that a lot? Miles was like, you got a problem? I was like, oh, did I sense a teach? A little teach of the clapback? Did I sense a teach of the clapback? Okay. Well, Karen says that she's ready to see Miles in some stressful situations because she wants to see, is this the real Miles? Or, is he putting on a show? Is he putting up a front? But as much as she's waiting to see who he really is, she sure is utilizing him. Oh, well, go and get my bags. Oh, well, I'm so glad I got a husband now. You go get this and pick up this and take up this. I'm like, honey, okay, you can't utilize some husband privileges and then deny him of some wife privileges. Or am I saying that wrong? I'm saying that opposite. You can't utilize some of your wife privileges, but when he want to utilize some of his husband privileges, oh no, we're strangers. We're strangers. That's the word she loves to use. We're strangers. Nah, ma'am. See, all right. I mean, Miles ain't perfect either. He giving me the side eye because really, sir, you shouldn't have been getting married. And you know that you clinically depressed. You need to make sure that you whole. You need to make sure you whole. You need to spend some time getting that medicine balanced and just right and adjusting to life with this new diagnosis. This isn't something that he struggled with for years and, he's overcome and now he's ready. No. This is fresh. This is new, sir. You need to be getting whole and healed before you enter into a covenant, serious marriage with somebody. Okay. All right. So, Christina and Henry goes to them, and Christina says she's never had a guy move this slow. Honey, Christina gonna keep on saying, I've never had a guy move this slow. I've never had to be the aggressor in a relationship. I mean, how many times you go, honey, we get it. We get it. You think you saying it 16 times is gonna make Henry change? Henry seemed like he pretty stubborn in his ways. I mean, we getting little glimpses of Henry's personality. And he's like, and you never been the aggressor, and you gonna be one today. Oh, you never do. Oh, you moving slow today. I mean, he seems like he's pretty set in his ways about it. Wow. But she says that she's tired of him moving slow and wants her husband to be her husband. Honestly, I don't think that she's asking for too much. You did enter into a marriage, Henry. Like Karen, y'all should have just been dating if y'all was going to have all of these issues. Right. So, Henry says that all of this is a lot. The marriage, the honeymoon, moving in together, it's a lot and gravity is setting in. I'm just trying to figure out, like, they not springing this stuff up on y'all, huh? Like, this wasn't a surprise. Like, they didn't say, oh, hey, after you get married, you're going to have to go on a honeymoon. Like, they didn't tell you. You knew that before you even got married, right? I'm sure most of y'all on this show didn't seen the episodes before. I just don't understand it when people come on here and be like, oh, well, it's a lot and gravity. I mean, Anyway, we move on to Olivia and Bret. They're coming into the apartment. They're seeing everything. And Olivia seems irritated. I mean, it's a decent apartment, but I guess, you're used to your home. Your home is bigger. I understand. Again, have you not seen it before? Do you think that the Married at First Sight team was getting y'all mansions to stay in for 8 weeks? I mean, okay. I'm not saying that they're not allowed to have sincere reactions. I'm not saying that they're not allowed to emote. I'm just saying the things that y'all seem to be struggling with. It seemed like y'all already knew what was coming and y'all should have counted up the Anyway, and she's like, oh, well, this is going to be very small for, the two of us and 3 cats. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. How much space y'all need for 2 folk that's sharing 1 room and 3 cats? The 3 cats can't get a room, and then y'all... You know what? I have had pets before, but I am a horrible pet owner. So maybe I just don't know. Anyway, and Bret is like, oh, well, the closets are big enough to be cat rooms. And she was like, I would never put my babies in the closet. He was like, well, my cat can be in the closet. And she was like, no. And I suggest you not put your cat in the closet either. I mean, she just seemed like she was irritated. I wonder, was she still feeling some way, about the little tiff that they had, on the last day of their honeymoon before, they caught their plane. I don't know, but she seemed a little irritable. Okay, so we move on to Woody and Amelia. They're getting in, and honey, they're getting comfortable. Last time we saw them, honey, they had consummated the marriage. They had consummated the marriage. All right, so they just coming in, they settling in. Woody's excited about barbecuing on the grill in the apartment complex and swimming and all that stuff. And I mean, they hurry up and get in the bed together. I guess it's been a long, traveling days seem like they're pretty exhausting. So they just went ahead and hopped in the bed. But before that, they were just talking about how they're looking forward to, Amani said she's looking forward to a lot of comfortable quality time, just getting comfortable with him. And yeah. Now, here's the thing that stood out to me. So it showed them getting up the very next morning. And Amani said, what did she say? She said, he need to get up and get to cracking on brushing his teeth. Is it just me? Or do y'all notice this is the second time she'd made a crack on his breath? Remember, she said something about his nasty teeth at the honeymoon, and now again, she talking about his teeth need. I mean, my girl Janice over there said that they talk like somebody have a breath problem because every time they get close, Amani doing her neck like this, like she trying to get out of the crossfire of the smell or something. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. All right, so it goes to Bennett and Amelia. Bennett wakes up and he says that he had a dream about his dad teaching him on how to put a face mask on. I thought that was interesting. Just something that stood out to me. Anyway, so it goes to everyone is visiting each other's homes, and they're packing, getting ready to move into the apartment. It starts with Olivia and Bret. They go to Olivia's home, and Olivia wants Bret, even though he is a homeowner, owns his home, and probably has already begun to get equity in his home, wants him to move out of his property to move into a rented place with her because she likes it so much. Okay, so yeah, she's in there and giving him the tour and everything, and Bret is like, oh, okay, yeah. Until he gets to the pink bathroom, honey. And he says it looks like Barbie threw up everywhere because it is a very bubblegum Barbie pink bathroom. And it has like half the tile is up the walls and that's pink. The floor is pink. It's a lot of pink going on. I do agree with Bret. It isn't a cute bathroom. Olivia seems to love it though. Bret was impressed. And he said it was very stoic, I believe is the word he used. It seemed cold in there. She had a lot of antiques. Her parents own an antique shop. So, he wasn't feeling it, And I don't know. It just seems like they real tit for tat. I don't know. Are y'all picking that up? They just seem like they trying to one up or tit for tat each other. Anyway, Bennett and Amelia. They go to Amelia's home. Amelia lives in a really big house with a lot of people. And, I saw it and I guess it was a big home. I guess. It didn't seem huge. I guess there were a lot of rooms, but, it wasn't. Bennett thought it was extravagant. I guess depending on where you come from, you might think that. I didn't see anything extravagant about the home. Didn't see anything extravagant about her space either. But it was enough to make him feel intimidated. And Bennett was shocked as he was going through his stuff. He found her yearbook. And she was very active in high school. I mean, she participated in clubs. She said she tried every sport at least once. And she also was homecoming queen. And Bennett was like, wow, she's homecoming queen. I never thought that I would ever marry a homecoming queen. That wasn't even a possibility when I was in high school. And you could just tell that he's just really in awe of her, and he's really smitten of her, and he really doesn't want to mess up his chance with her. And you see that Bennett is falling pretty fast. But Bennett says that he was pretty opposite in high school, that he wasn't as active or as popular as Amelia was. And I'm guessing you have to be popular to be homecoming queen. So it goes back to Olivia and Bret, and now they're at Bret's house. And what's interesting is, Bret wants her to come live in his home, which, is more traditional. And I can understand that, because I'm like, why would I leave my property to come stay in a rental? And he also feels like renting is a waste of money, which is very judgmental, as we see that Bret does a lot of judging. And I see a tinge of self-righteousness in him because, of what he deems as accomplishments. We're going to see how that plays out. Bennett wants Olivia to live with her. Olivia is looking very unimpressed and very uncomfortable because, his house does look like a bachelor pad. Guess what, Olivia? Because he was a bachelor. That's why it looks like a bachelor pad. Do you expect for it to look like a woman lives there? Then you'd be suspicious, right? I mean, you were just upset that he went on a date before he married you 2 weeks ago. And you don't think that you would possibly upset that you went in there and looked and his home looked like there was a woman taking. That's your job, honey. That's when you come in and you spruce up his house and give it a woman's touch and then make it a home for both of you. Or, y'all can come together. He can sell his home. Y'all can buy one together and you not waste your money by renting. Just some options. Okay, but yes, it was very messy. She says it looks like a bachelor pad, and she doesn't think it's that great. And Bennett could tell that she wasn't feeling it and that she didn't like it. And he said it made him feel like poop. He didn't use the word poop, but I'm not saying the word. Because he said it made him feel bad because he put in a lot of hard work and put in a lot of his savings. So we go back to Bennett and Amelia, and now Amelia is at Bennett's house and she's going to see the tiny house. And when Amelia walked in, she looked very shocked, and I almost couldn't read her reaction. And honestly, I don't know if she gave her genuine reaction. Can I just say that? I don't feel like that was really her genuine reaction. But she said that it was amazing. Amen. I really hope that she did think it was amazing. Bennett and Amelia were just gathering his things. He's getting his little beat machine. And then he shows Amelia the hat that he wanted to wear for their wedding. And she was like, oh, I would have fell in love with you instantly if you would have worn the hat, after everybody in his family told him, don't wear the hat, you're going to take away from the bride. But I understand what they're saying. And really, he didn't know who he was going to get. So when you renew your vows, go ahead and wear the hat. How about that? Yeah, what else? All right, so Pastor Cal comes and visits Woody and Amani. And they come in and, they're all lovey-dovey because, they've consummated and everything. And, Pastor Cal is asking them, okay, so how is everything? And they're like, we're just so shocked that it's, how good it is. And it's better than we expected. And Pastor Cal asks Woody, well, what do you like about it? And Woody was like, he loves her honesty. Amani is like, well, I love that you like my honesty. And Pastor Cal asks, were they intimate? Were they intimate? They said yes. And then, which was interesting to me, but I understood where Pastor Cal was going. But then he asked, are y'all using protection? And Amani was like, not every time. And Pastor Cal was like, he was not approving of that. He was like, y'all really want to have kids this soon, this early? Pastor Cal, they married. I understand. But I do know. I do get what he was saying. Like, okay, keep it up. And y'all don't want kids right now. Y'all waiting to have kids. But Woody is like, I want a honeymoon baby. I don't know, y'all. Is it me, y'all? Is it me? I'm just like, Woody, what are your intentions? Why you want a honey? What are your intentions? Is it really because, I don't know. I'm not going to put my mouth on it right now. Anyway, Pastor Cal wanted to know, what are the things that he wouldn't like or that would be hard to deal with. And Woody said he doesn't like surprises. And he used the example if Monty didn't tell him that she was going to go cut off all her hair and came back with her hair short, he'd be upset about it because she didn't talk to him about it. And Amani immediately got offended and was like, what? I do what I want. This is my body. You don't tell me what to do. You don't. I don't know. You do it. And Pastor Kyle just looking at them go, and he's like, yes, I would have an issue if you went and cut off all your hair, and I would have a concern about the attraction. And she was like, it's attraction? My hair? If I cut off all my hair, you're saying that you'll no longer be attracted to me? Is that all? I mean, I get both sides. I get it. And Mike actually agreed with Amani. He was like, it's her hair, it's her body. Let her do what she want to do. I don't believe him because I really feel like if I went out and did something crazy, that he would not like it and he wouldn't treat me the same. I don't. But he said, it's her body, whatever. But here's my thing, is that no, nobody should have control over you. Nobody should tell you, oh, you gotta look like this. No. But if you want to, men are very visual. And no, attraction isn't only how you look, but it does play a big part for some people. And if you know that it plays a big part for your spouse, I think it's okay for you to be considerate and say, hey, babe, I'm thinking about getting this look, and at least get their buy-in and get their opinion before you make your final decision. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Anyway, so they going back and forth, and Woody says that it's an issue with me because, and then he brought up a past relationship. The one he was with had his child. She decided to get an abortion and didn't even consider him in the option, because it was her body and all that stuff. And she was like, well, I understand, just wanting some type of, just wanting to do this together and at least have a conversation. So they seem to resolve it. It ain't over. They just, went ahead and settled it down for Pastor Cal. But she said she doesn't want to feel controlled. And that's where she was getting. And basically, she doesn't want to feel controlled, and he doesn't want to feel disregarded. Or doesn't want to be, doesn't want her to be inconsiderate towards him. I get it. They're going to have to map that out. Anyway, Miles and Karen. Karen goes to Miles' house. And Karen is super concerned. Miles is going to be messy because his parents done ran their mouth too much at the wedding talking about what he going to be. And I just feel like some of these parents real thirsty to be on camera. And they say too much that really could just be handled between the spouses. I'm just like, you had an opportunity to get you a little camera time and you showed out a little bit, but I'm not for uncovering my children unless I feel like the other person may be in danger or something. Then yeah, I'm gonna squeal like a hawk. But minor stuff like that, I'm not finna put you on blast like that. You're gonna have to find that out yourself because you did decide to marry a stranger. Anyway, and so she looks at the closet and he has like tons of shoes and she's like, just lightly giving him a hard time. I don't think she meant anything, bad about it, but like, oh my God, you got so many shoes. Okay, so Christina and Henry go to Henry's place. Small studio apartment, everything's little, tiny, and Christina's like, it's tiny, but I guess I could get used to being here. Which had my eyebrow raised like, ma'am, when we saw you in the beginning of the episode, you looked like you had a nice little place on the terrace and stuff like that. What you mean? You gonna move into his studio, huh? Huh? Christina, huh? So she's looking through his stuff and realized that he doesn't keep food, but he is a gamer. We got another gamer. That was interesting. So, they were getting ready to wrap up. They got a little chick and some little knick-knack paddywhacks to decorate the apartment with. And so Christina mentions to Henry, hey, well, all my stuff is just in my car. So, we don't have to go anywhere to get my stuff. It's already in the car. Hold on. You ain't just finna just glide on by that? You ain't finna glide by that, Christina? Where your house at? Henry caught that. He was like, hold on, she told me that she lived in this area. I guess I was mistaken. I misheard. Christina, are you homeless? Christina, are you homeless? Blink once for yes. Blink twice for no. Let us know. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. So it goes back to Miles and Karen, and they go to Karen's apartment, and she seems uncomfortable having him in her space and having him at her house. And she just continues to refer to this man that she slept in the bed with for a straight week, a stranger. He is at least an acquaintance. I don't know. Okay, Karen. Miles is prying through her stuff, because that's kind of what she did at his place, so he's returning the favor. And turns out when they get to the closet, she got just as many shoes, if not more shoes than him. So I guess she was complaining because he's a guy with that many shoes. But yeah, she has just as many shoes as Miles. But him going through her stuff, she seemed a little annoyed. Because, Karen is not letting Miles in, period. Okay? So, Christina and Henry. Christina begins moving furniture, or she didn't move no furniture, honey. She told Henry to move the furniture because she wanted to get some type of feng shui or whatever in the house. And Henry... they start discussing about living situations and how they are as, living with another person. And Henry says, I'm pretty easygoing. If you have any issues with, me taking up space or something, just let me know. I'll try not to throw too many parties. I said, Henry, you got a little personality. Henry, you got a little personality. Good for you. And he was like, hey, Christina, if you're in town, I'll invite you. All right, Henry, we see, we getting a glimpse, a little of his personality, right? Okay, so Pastor Cal goes to Bret and Olivia's house to speak with them. And they both say they expected marriage to be hard, that their view hasn't changed on marriage since they've met. But Olivia says that she knew it would be hard, but she didn't realize it was going to be this difficult, and navigating through things. And Pastor Cal asked Bret what did he think when he saw Olivia walking down the aisle, and Bret said, I thought she looked amazing. And Olivia was pleased as well. But they're already having issues over finances. Honey. And then let me tell you what happened next, boo. Because there is trouble in paradise. So Olivia is concerned that they won't be able to travel, explore, and do fun things. Well, Bret says she ain't got no budget and she throws her money away. I'm not finna do all of that with you. You go and have fun, he say. And Olivia is like, I can have fun and still pay my bills on time. I do pay my bills on time. And Bret's like, well, she ain't never had a budget in her life. She doesn't even know how to do a budget. I mean, just really slamming her. I mean, obviously she opened up about something personal to you, and she was like, no, I know what a budget is and I know how to make a budget. But I was just asking you if you'd show me how you do one. Because I do have some debt that I would like to pay down. And I mean, he just really took that and ran with it and basically was like, I'm not getting rid of my retirement running after you. But if you want me to come with you and you're footing the bill, fine. Wow. First of all, how you supposed to be a husband, a protector, a covering, a provider, and you telling her she got to foot the bill if she want to do anything nice with you? So you telling me in the history of your existence you ain't gonna do nothing nice for your wife unless she pay it for? I mean, what? Bret. First of all, your ego is so bruised right now. You feeling some type of way about the 7.5 she gave you. You feeling some type of way because she wasn't just super impressed about your house that you own. And now you are really dragging her for filth in front of Pastor Cal and on public TV. You wrong, bro. You wrong. You wrong. And do I agree? Yes, Olivia might need to tighten up. And I think that they could be a great balance for each other. But I mean, who told you they was trying to deplete your retirement? I think that if she make almost triple more than you, sir, then she's not interested in your retirement. But see, that's what happens when you say you are not intimidated, that a woman makes more than you, but you are indeed intimidated, sir, because you have done all of these accomplishments. You've lost all this weight. You've bought a home. You've been able to, have savings and stuff. And then this woman comes in who is killing it in her career and seems more successful than you are. And now all of a sudden you feel the need to extend your chest out and beat it like Tarzan. Grow up. That is not mature. Anyway. So of course, Olivia starts crying, and she says she feels like, her feelings may be off, but some things, but she really wants to give the marriage a chance, and she feels like she needs to be honest about the things that she feels. So they cut to the camera of him jumping up real quick and walking off, and I thought that he was walking off like I'm not talking no more, but he went and got her a tissue box to dry her tears. It's like, okay, Bret, I won't fuss at you the whole time now, because that was, thank you. Because, some dudes will see you cry and they'll just watch the snot run down into your mouth and don't give a hot dog. Anyway, so it is very, very clear that they have poor communication concerning finances, and they both feel some type of way about the other's incomes. Goes back to Woody and Amani. A Woody lives with his grandma. A Woody lives. Woody lives with his grandmother, and as he was going to pack up his things to go move into the new apartment, Grandma packed him up some red beans and rice. Shout out to the boot, y'all. Love me some red beans and rice. Woody also has a lot of shoes, and he has a hat wall that Amani is not feeling and not okay with. And then Woody goes to Amani's home, and nothing eventful there. She's getting her stuff together, making him carry all her stuff. But Amani, let me ask you something. Why is your Christmas tree still up? I don't believe they filmed this during Christmas. Why is your Christmas tree still up, Amani? Are you one of those people who leave it up till July and then put it back up again in August? That's you, isn't it, Amani? That's you. Okay. All right, guys. So Pastor Kyle speaks with Christina and Henry, and it comes out for real. Because Christina's like, she's catching glimpses of Henry being awesome, but she just hates the fact that he's moving so slow. And for the 1000th time, she says she does not like being the aggressor. Henry, honey, then straight up told Christina, I'm moving slow because I don't like you like that. Because I don't see you like that. I've been in relationships where I was the aggressor. I'm just not being the aggressor with you. Because you got an attitude. Because you're impatient. And because you're high maintenance. Henry. I mean, he letting all right, personality. I mean, they sure didn't play no boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. They ain't playing none of that time. I was like, ooh, and Mike was like, oh, Christina, you got friend zoned. You got friend zoned. Honey, you used to, everybody try to run up and through you. Henry said it won't be me. Well, I was shocked. I think Pastor Cal was as well. But he said, I want you two to start having more deep and meaningful conversations. I mean, after you, what can you say after that? But Pastor Cal was like, she is fiery. She is sassy. She's a diva. And I think, you guys will balance each other out. Give her a chance, get to see, while we put you guys together. Interesting. Pastor Kyle goes and sees Bennett and Amelia. They're all giddy and enjoying each other. But, Pastor Kyle will come in and break some of that stuff up in a minute. They both have a physical attraction to each other. And because of Amelia, Bennett is reconsidering biological children. Remember, he said he only wanted to adopt children because he thinks that the world is filled with too many children anyway, that we're overpopulated as a race. Anyway, and then Amelia is like, because of Bennett, I'm considering adoption. So we'll see how that goes. And then Pastor Kyle brings up moving. He was like, okay, she's a doctor. She has a residency. She might have to move for it. What's up? And Bennett is like, I don't know how I feel about that. I have a life here. I have things going on. I don't know if I'll just be ready to move. Amelia is looking like, what you mean? Of course you're moving. You're my husband and you're going to do whatever I ask you to do because that's what my daddy did for my mom and that's what you must do for me. And so, Amelia's like, well, I'm just optimistic about it all, Pastor Cal, and we're just on the same page. And Pastor Cal is like, you're not always going to be on the same page. Come on, somebody tell somebody what marriage is about. Come on. Y'all ain't always going to be on the same page. What's going to happen when you ain't? How y'all going to get to the same page? So I thought that was interesting. Okay, Karen and Miles, Pastor Cal comes to visit them, and Karen keeps saying out of her mouth, well, it's stranger, 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 danger, stranger, stranger, danger. I'm like, your mama taught you well not to talk to strangers, because, this is really embedded in your mind. You slept with this man for a week in the bed. This is your husband. You signed a marriage license. Y'all married for real, folks. And Pastor Cal is like, y'all are not strangers. And she goes back and says, he's a stranger. So, he's asking, Miles and Karen, are they attracted to each other? And, Miles is extra as usual, expressing how he feels. Good for you, Miles. Karen is still very surfacey. I feel you are very handsome. And I don't believe that she's being genuine about that. I believe Miles is handsome. I don't believe Karen believes that he's handsome. I think she's just saying that to be kind. Miles says that he likes to be affectionate. But Karen states, I do not like his affection. It's hard for me to have somebody come up to behind me, hug me, hold me while we're walking. I don't like it. And Pastor Cal is like, well, what is it? What's the fear? And why is there such a distrust? And she's like, I don't want to get hurt. I'm afraid to get hurt. And she begins to cry. Then Karen, if you still locked up like this, why did you sign up willingly to marry a stranger? Oh my goodness. All right. So Miles is like, it's not my intention to hurt you or to leave or to be, all the stuff. Yeah. Bye. And Pastor Cal is like, okay, well, I understand you being patient with her and stuff like that. But, what do you need? What do you want? And he was like, well, as long as she's good, I'm good, and I just want to make sure she's straight. So Pastor Cal is like, okay, so you're telling me that if she decides that you guys are never having sex, you're going to be okay with that? He was like, no. He was like, well, then there are some things that you want and some things that you need. The fact of the matter is that Miles is so focused on her, he don't know what he wants or what he needs. Or maybe he isn't mature enough to know. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's both. So, Pastor Cal tells him, hey, I need for you to find out what you need. So this is interesting. Issues are starting to peep up. We gonna see, honey. School is in session, honey. And the representatives can only represent for so long. There's cameras in your face. You aren't getting much private time. You're with someone you barely know. It's bound to come out. And I'm hoping that these couples will be able to work through what they need to. All right, guys, I thank you so much for joining me for this recap. Please make sure you subscribe. I am almost at 2K subscribers, and I would love it if you help me get there. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Until next time, be fruitful and multiply. Good night.